What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, and today I'm going to list my top 10 favorite Robert Plant songs. Recently ranked his albums. We got here through Frank Zappa, Stairway to Heaven cover in '88, Whole Lot of Love Jam. You can hear it on Leather, Winter '77. Robert Plant gets named, mentioned, dropped by Flo and Eddie in '71, part of the whole opera groupie routine. Plus, I'm sure there's just Zeppelin isms probably throughout Frank at some point that I'm missing. But those three are the big ones. Rank the albums, and now these are just my top 10 favorite songs. That's all I'm going to do. Quickly talk about each one, why I like them. Put a list up on the screen at the end for you visual learners, and then you tell me your top 10 favorite. These are all almost to a song, slow burning type groove numbers, atmospheric, that sort of intense, slow burn, kind of not necessarily a ballad, but definitely not a hard rock, or more some weird simmering mid-tempo energy that Robert Plant does better than anything. And then the album ranking almost bears no relationship to the favorite song ranking, as you will find out, as some of the songs on the top of this list. The albums they belong on are not on the top of the list. But anyways, that's for you to discover if you want to watch that other video. But here we go. Number 10, Hey Joe, a cover. Yes, this thing is an absolute ridiculous, ridiculous cover. I believe it's on his Dreamland album. And it is just like the song completely like deconstructed, taken to the most bare bone, like just barely music happening and not even at a high like a very low volume. And then it just evolves into like an utter chaotic attack, high energy. We don't really get that Hey Joe sort of groove until like a third of the way through the song. And then when it hits hard and it doesn't stick around for very long. And it's just kind of in and out. It is just an all out, like if you're going to cover a song that sort of has been as covered as much as Hey Joe and is kind of has sort of an iconic version, right? Jimi Hendrix, I would say. You got to do something with it. And Robert Plant just like tears it apart and reassembles it and then puts this here and adds this here. And then he includes this, but then he just amps it up. It is a journey. It is a magical, magical experience. I think it is just one of the most exciting covers of ever. It is phenomenal, phenomenal cover. Would have put it higher, but it's a cover. So it makes it at number 10. But it almost doesn't sound like a cover. It almost sounds like a Plant original, other than the obviously recognizable lyrics and that just that main riff that drops in every so often. Phenomenal cover. Number 9, The Enchanter. Kind of a slower, proggier, balladier type thing with this really neat techno undercurrent that kind of is simmering under the whole thing and then kind of even takes over towards the end. Has a completely otherworldly vibe. I think this is on Mighty Rearranger. It is like the centerpiece of that album. It is the heart of that album. It is almost like if J.R.R. Tolkien wrote prog music, or decided to write a prog ballad, or decided to write any sort of music to go along with sort of not necessarily one of the main tales in his Lord of the Rings or Hobbit, but this was like a tale that somebody told around a campfire. The music would be the music that I think would accompany that, even with that weird techno energy that seeps in. Just another really a neat blending of genres with minimal just sprinkling of different genres, and then Plant takes that and just does fantastic, fantastic things with it. Number 8 is New World, off his most recent solo album, Not With Kraus, Carry Fire. It's off Carry Fire. Second song, it's just this really nice little kind of mid-tempo, poppy, ballady type thing. I think Plant's voice is fantastic. It's just got a really nice sort of, I don't want to say a gentle groove, but kind of an easy going groove. But at the same time, it's not, there's a little bit of like impetus to it. It's a commentary on, the New World and colonizers kind of destroying it, but it doesn't really go into detail. It's a broad stroke, kind of like a Neil Young Cortez the Killer type thing, but not getting as personal as Neil Young does. But that kind of picture of like a previous time, and the music has a sort of haunting, sad quality about it, but at the same time, not like a somber quality. It's an interesting song, interesting groove, nice little pop nugget that I really think, as the second song on that album, works really well. So I think one of the reasons why I've always liked it is it follows a little more eclectic, folky Americana roots rock type opener, and then we get this just a really solid little groove to it. Really like it. That's number 8, New World. Number 7 is Silver Rider. I believe this, I forget what album Silver Rider is from. But I will find out and then I'll let you know. But this is another ballady number, a very haunting ballad, kind of almost a whispery type of vocal performance by Robert Plant. Has some really good guitar playing kind of sprinkled throughout. And the ending, the guitar at the end reminds me of Teenage Fan Club's Gene Clark, just where it's just like this really almost highly repetitive, almost feedback laden, just really, it's off Band of Joy. I knew that, but I get these S songs mixed up. He's got a lot of S songs, like 4th or 5th song on albums. It's on Band of Joy. But it has this really neat sort of build to this night Gene Clark Teenage Fan Club vibe at the end of it. Also one of those sort of around the campfire, haunting ballad sort of numbers, late night, creepy, like mysterious, slightly spiritual. I mean, like, what is a Silver Rider? I just drank a whole bunch of really cold soda and my mouth feels numb right now. Kind of weird. But a really good song. It's right here. I'm going to drink some more in a second because I feel really dehydrated. But yeah, really good song, really haunting, some really good guitar playing, and I really like the ending. The ending just kind of, it lasts a little longer than you expect, and it's just a nice, comfortable, like, sort of fade out. That's number 6, I believe. 7. Number 6, another one of those S songs off his debut, Slow Dancer. This has just an awesome sort of Cashmere-esque stomp to it. This little groove. Dun-dun, dun-dun, just has this, like, that Cashmere sway stomp swagger that Cashmere has. And it's not there for the whole song. It's a pretty long little song. It's like 6+ minutes, right? And it pops in, I think, like 3 times throughout. But every time it pops in, it's almost like you're like on a Disney ride through like a jungle, like the jungle boat ride, and you're getting to parts, and they don't have this in the jungle boat ride, but like a part where like you reach like a rapid, and all of a sudden that dun it just like propels you through some like more ominous, slightly more like scary territory before you reach other spaces which are a little more open but still have a nice momentum about them. Some weird like 80s production issues that seep in. That kind of make it feel a little more upbeat and rocky than it is. But then every time we get that repetitive Cashmere-esque theme, you're once again grounded into this sort of more intense, slower type vibe that is almost like in conflict with like the way the song sounds sonically as opposed to the way it sounds musically. I don't know. A really interesting, by far the highlight of that first album, and kind of saves that first album because it is a really, really good song. And everything after that on the album works. And maybe it's because this is so good and it just sounds better. I don't know. But that's number 6, Slow Dancer. Number 5, Memory Song, Hello, Hello. I think this is off Fate of Nations, which is an underrated little gem of an album. I almost put 2 songs off Fate of Nations on here. I'm not going to tell you what the other song was. But yeah, Memory Song, this has one of the best guitar riffs of any Plant song. I was trying to like, it has this, it's a very like momentous kind of almost Pearl Jammy, maybe like early Pearl Jam, maybe, but it's got that sort of like 90s rock momentum to it, but it's a little proggier and just a little bit more, has that Robert Plant mysterious vibe about it. There's something slightly haunting about it, but it is such a good guitar riff, and the band just falls in around it so perfectly and supports it. And it's just like, and I try to write it down phonetically to like be able to sing it, but now that I see what I wrote down, I'm like, that's not what I'm hearing in my head. So you really just have to go and listen to it. But it is a fantastic and from the beginning that riff drops, and it's not like a guitar riff where like we play the riff and then the band comes in. The whole band is with it the entire way, and it's just like we're riding this energy, and oh, it is so good. Just absolutely fantastic. And though that's not the whole song, the song goes different places. That riff is so compelling and just so ties the room together. Absolutely perfect. Memory song, Hello, Hello, off Fate of Nations. That is number 4. Number 5. Number 4 is the title track to Carry Fire. This sounds like a late night, like it would be the soundtrack of like people living, I always imagine Australia, but they're in the outback and they don't have fire. They don't even have language at this point, but they see lightning strike in the distance in the middle of the night and they see like orange flames and they go to investigate to try to get the fire and bring it back. And they have to watch out for wild animals and snakes and deadly insects. And it just has this dark, mysterious, spiritual, early humankind type vibe. Carry Fire, the title obviously adds to that sort of feeling. But yeah, it's one of those, just another kind of slower, more laid back, but not comforting, laid back, but not relaxing, just laid back. And it's like a little maybe hesitant. But I don't know, but creepy. And that snaky, slithery guitar that runs through so many Plant songs to just add this absolutely amazing element of just like mysterious spirituality that I think Robert Plant does so well. Title track to Carry Fire. That's number 4. Number 3 is Big Log. Love that guitar part. I don't know what my love is in line with my love is in sound with the freeway. What is that line? My love is something with the freeway. But I grew up in LA, and LA is defined by freeways. And there is something about the freeway, and especially the freeway at night, like just being something like at the end of the freeway. Like I live close to the beach, so everything was at the end of the freeway other than the beach. But like if you ever wanted to go to the city or another state or somewhere else as a kid, you went on this freeway. And just the imagery of freeways. And anytime a band uses the freeway and really captures freewayness in it, I'm a big fan of. I think Robert Plant does. I think this is a late night freeway drive in LA back in the day before there was traffic 24/7. I love that guitar part. It's nice and slinky and kind of creepy. Love the sort of 80s production issues that kind of seep in that I've come to like over the years. Just another great slow burning classic, Big Log. And number 2 is Little by Little, off not one of his best albums, Shaken and Stirred, but this was the first Robert Plant album I bought because of Little by Little. Again, when it came out at the time, I knew it not through radio, but I might have heard it on the radio, but it was an MTV. The video was in heavy rotation on MTV. And I just remember the beginning of the song. I think it's like a good minute, maybe a minute plus before the vocals arrive, but it's like not this slow build into the vocals. It's like other things are happening. And the moment you think the vocals are going to start, something else musically happens. And that wasn't the way pop rock radio was working on MTV. And this was one of those songs that kind of stood out, felt a little more relaxed, felt like the artist did something for me as like 14, 15-year-old at the time. Like he had something a little more to say. Might have been younger than that. But 14. But yeah, just absolutely, it spoke to me. Bought the album, disappointed in the album, but this song I've always loved. I just love the groove. I love the 80s sort of proggy keyboards that come in that shouldn't work, but for some reason do. Very much sounds of the time. Big Log, this Little by Little, and the one that number 1 sound like 80s songs. Like the production issues are there, but they don't bother me. And to me, they almost work and help the song. The mixing vibes that Plant can do so well with like guitar and then synths and then his drum parts and his vocals, like it all works in a weird sort of way that it shouldn't. And number 1, I'm in the mood for a Robert Plant song called I'm in the Mood, in the melody, I'm in the mood. I can listen to this song every day. I could wake up every day of my life, put this song on, and my day is going to be fantastic. Love this song. Love that groove. Love just I'm in the mood for a melody. I'm in the mood. Ooh, love his singing. Love that little weird prog break in the middle. Everything about In the Mood, I think, is just absolute perfection. Just Robert Plant. I just, the first time I saw Robert Plant and they played this song, it was just like, that's who I want to be as a rock star. Some guy just on stage, just like, I'm in the mood. I mean, he just looked so comfortable and the groove was so good and the band was just enjoying themselves. And yeah, I can never, never not love this song. Weird way to say that. But yeah, those are them right there. Those are the ones I would call my 10 favorite Robert Plant songs as of April 2023. Those top three are never going to change ever, unless I have like a really bad experience in life and it's associated with one of those songs. Everything else could probably move back and forth just because. Probably won't. I don't think Memory Song, Carry Fire will. I don't think Slow Dancer will. I don't think they will. But those top three aren't going anywhere ever. But yeah, those are my favorite. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your 10 favorite are. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, what I should check out, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe, like, share, and most importantly, go listen to music. Go listen to all the music. Go listen to some Robert Plant. Highly interesting solo career. And a little bit different on every album. Like even when toward the left, there are pockets where he kind of sounds the same, but he kind of mixes it up every time, and it's a pretty neat thing. So if you don't like one album, that doesn't mean you won't like another. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, thanks for watching. Peace. Talk to you later. I don't know why I did that.